So hello guys, first I will show you how to create Spring Boot project. Open Spring Tool Suite and click on file and new and Spring Starter project, and here you have to give your project name and here select Maven and packaging as WAR file and language Java and select Java version as 17, and here you give your project description and here you give your package name. I will give my package name as pkg1, everything in small, and click on next, and here you select three dependencies: Spring Web and MySQL driver and Spring Data JPA. These are the three dependencies which we are using in this project, and click on finish and wait until everything getting imported. It will take some while, and now open the project and it will be in this structure. I have three text files: list of top 3 universities in India, UK and USA. I will create REST APIs for this data, and I will copy these three text files and I will paste it in my project folder. I click on universities and paste, and now it will show here. Now go to source main Java and right click on pkg1 and new and create new package, and I will name it pkg1.univ1 and finish. Now inside this package we will create our classes and interfaces. Now I will create one entity class. This entity class will create a table in our database. I will name it univ entity. In every entity class we will give one entity annotation, and we have to import every annotation once we write. And I will give one more annotation, it is table, to give the table name. And inside the class I will give two fields, one is int univ and string univ name, means university name, and I will make univ id as a auto increment by using id annotation. And I will also give one more annotation, it is at generation value strategy is equal to generation type dot identity, and this annotation will make univ id as a primary key. Now I will create one constructor for this class. Right click source and generate constructor using fields, and I will remove univ id because univ id is auto generate, and I will also create getters and setters. Right click source getters and setters, and I will select all and generate, and I will save this class. And now I will create one interface and I will name it univ repo, means university repository. And this repository interface will connect entity class and the controller class. Here I extends JPA repository. This JPA repository will convert Java objects into relational database, and inside of this we will pass two parameters. First one is our entity class name, it is univ entity, and second one is data type of our primary key. Here univ id is a primary key, so I will give integer, and I will save this repository. Now we will create one controller class inside this package, new class, and I will name it univ controller, and here we will start creating our REST API. In every controller class we will give one annotation, it is REST controller, and inside of this controller class I will create one method to read this file, public I will give return type as list because I will return list of universities. And I will give method name as load data. And I will pass one parameter, it is string fname, means file name of. Here we have to import list and it will ask for a return statement. So here I will use the file class to read the data from the file. File f1 is equal to new file, and inside that we have to give our file name, but in this method I will pass fname as a parameter. So fname, and I will import file, and I will call scanner class. Scanner sc1 is equal to new scanner, and inside that we have to pass our file object f1, and I will import scanner also. My text file has more than one line, so I will use while loop. While sc1 dot has next. Has next means it will execute until getting the empty line in the file. So I will create one list to store the list of universities in the file. List string, I will call it list1 is equal to new array list, and here I will say list1 dot add of sc1 dot next line. So here now I will return list1. Now we will start creating our REST APIs. I will create two REST APIs, one using get mapping to get the data from the list, and another one is post mapping to store the data in the database or inside the data in the database. First I will create the REST API for get mapping. So I will put get mapping annotation, and inside that I will give the path slash get univ, and here I will create one more method, and here also I will return list type, and I will call it get univ, means get universities, and here I will return list. So I will call this method because this method is also returning a list. So load data, and inside that I will pass parameter as file name. Our file name is univindia.txt, and here we have to throw exception. And now we will create one more REST API using post mapping. So I will put post mapping annotation, and inside that I will give the path here also. I will call it add univ. So here also I will create one method public. Here I will return string type, and add univ is my method name. And so here I will create one list to store the list of universities. So list string, I will call it list1 is equal to new array list, and here I will call list1 is equal to this method load data. So inside that I will give my text file name. So univ india.txt. Here also I have to throw exception because in this method also we have thrown an exception. So here it will ask for a return statement. First I will put it null, and here I will create one more list for using constructor class univ entity, and I will call it records is equal to new array list. Here I will create for loop because list turn has more than one line. So I is equal to 0 and I less than this list one dot size and I plus plus. So here I will say records dot add up. Here I will call constructor. So I will create instance of the constructor. My constructor name is univ entity and I have passed one parameter as university name. So new univ entity, and inside that I will pass one parameter as university now. So where is the university name now? It will be inside of list 1. So here I will say list 1 dot get of I. So now we added the list of universities into records list. So now we have to save this in the database. So now what I will do, I will put auto void annotation. So here I will create a reference to the univ repo interface. So univ repo, and here I will say univ repo dot save all. What we will save inside the records. So I will say it records. Now here I will change return to inserted successfully, means inserted all the data into the database. So when we were created the project, we have added the one dependency called MySQL driver. So now we have to set the connection for the MySQL database. So we go to src main resource and open the application.properties file. Here we have to give 4 lines of code. I will copy this code and I will paste here. Here we have to change our database name. So first open MySQL workbench and create one database, and here I will create database as db1, and here refresh the db1 database will be shown here, and I will use this db1. And now I will go to Spring Tool and I will give my database name as db1. So it is my connection username and MySQL connection password. So now I will close this file and I will run this project. Right click on the project and run as Spring Boot app. Once the application started, I will open Postman, and here I will create a blank collection and I will call it universities. And here I will add a new request, and here I will give my REST API name as first one is get univ, and since it is a get mapping, so I will select get method, and here I will give my localhost address, and here I will select the address and I will copy this, and here I will paste this and I will send. Now it will return the list of universities in a JSON format file. So now I will create new request and I will call this API name as add univ. So second one is post mapping, so I will select post method, and here also I will give the localhost address, and here I will select path from the here and I will paste here, and I will give send. Then it is shown inserted successfully. So now I will go to MySQL workbench and I will check whether the data is inserted or not. I will refresh here. Once I will go here, yeah, table is created. So I will select the rows from the table. Yeah, data inserted successfully. Thank you.